Okay, so we're talking to folks about their last-minute plans for the election today. Okay. So what's on your agenda for the Sunday before the election?
Well, we're here for both the Earth Day events, the one over at Malden and here at Nipmuc, and the Battle of the Atlantic is a commemorative event is on. We always take, Brian and I always take part in that formally, but we can't do that with an election on. So we'll probably be attending that, but just as an observer, I guess, this year. Beyond that, I'll be spending some time in the campaign office, just last-minute organizational things that have to be done. And then I'm going to go and spend some time with my grandchild, who's here for the weekend.
So how are you feeling going into Monday's election? What do you, what's your outlook?
Well, I mean, comfortable. I think Brian and I are both feeling comfortable we're going to be successful. And I think the key is, as always, is to get our vote out. We've done a pretty good job. My team's done a pretty good job of identifying it. So it's a question of encouraging them to vote on Monday. I was quite pleased with the results we got in the advance polls. We encouraged people to vote in the advance polls, and we got a significant increase. So I'm hoping that is an indication that we'll get a large turnout. I've been very, I think every elected official, whatever level, has been very concerned at the rates of votes in the last 10 years in particular. We were one of the lower ridings in the country in the 2008 election in terms of voter turnout. So I'm optimistic that we're going to do better this time, but we are going to be pushing people to get out and vote.
When I last looked at the polls, the Conservatives were doing about 37%. You guys were at 31.6%. So what does that sort of surge mean to you?
Not running again.
Well, I hate doing these prognostications because I always remember the forecast that I made in the 1990 provincial election. I happened to be out of the country for part of that, and I told my mother before I left that I thought the NDP were going to do about as well as they were at that time, which was 17 seats. And when I came back in that last week, I realized that we had this huge upsurge, and we ended up with 74 seats. My mother was never impressed with my prognostication skills after that, but I think I've improved. So what we think is going to happen is the last 10% of the people who haven't decided as of this past weekend will shift over this weekend. And if past practice is any indication, because the momentum is going with our party, we expect to get a significant part of that. And if that happens, we'll probably end up percentages almost tied with the Conservatives, up or down 1 or 2 points. The seat allocation based on that is less clear, particularly because of the huge vote that we expect to get in Quebec and how that breaks down. You know, is it more heavily concentrated in and around Montreal? We've got some seats up in the north that we think we've got shots at winning, but it will depend on how that vote breaks down across the whole of the province. Will it be mostly heavily concentrated in the Montreal area, or will it be more evenly split? And if it's more evenly split, we're going to take a large number of seats in Quebec.
And how are you planning to get your vote out on Monday?
Well, we have a standard practice. We have a large number of people on the telephone, both in the office, the campaign office, some calling from home, some using their cell phones, working off lists that we've compiled during the campaign of vote that has identified as being NDP support or leaning to the NDP. We will have a number of people on the street as well, going door to door to, again, targeting those people indicated over the last 5 weeks that they're supporters, to encourage them to get out and vote. And we go back repeatedly, and we call back repeatedly if they tell us once they're not going to vote, and then, or they're going to vote and then they don't. So we go back and try and encourage them to vote.
Do you have any plans for campaigning? Are you allowed to campaign on Monday? I'm not sure what the laws on that.
You're not allowed to campaign in and around the returning or the balloting areas, and we don't do it in any event. I'll go around to, we have a series of mini headquarters. We break the riding down into mini headquarters, and so I'll go around and our volunteers will be working out of there. It's more efficient to do it that way, so I'll go around and do that, and then beyond that I'll be pulling the vote just like everybody else.